Yo, 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 yo. This is your your main host and everything you know and love. The Mad King from up the mountains. King Kman here live, live here in the Kman's Productions Laboratory. As every Friday goes, you already know what it is, the Real in Reality podcast. All right, today I'm going to talk about the meaning of nicknames. Why is it important? Does it have anything like that ties into um DID, which means dissociative identity disorder? And can it be um chosen for you, like the nickname? Can it be chosen for you, or you can choose it yourself and everybody just follow through? And what's the good and the bad consequences of it, right? But of course, before we start on anything, we'll talk about the song of the day. This is kind of like one of my classic favorite songs of all time. Beautiful by Eminem. Not saying that he is beautiful himself, but he's talk about a different beauty, as in the mind, the struggle of being him, and then another struggle from another person's perspective on like how they deal with life and everything. Um so we're gonna go to the first verse. It talks about like when it says, I'm just so fucking depressed. I just can't seem to get out of this slump. If I could just get over this hump, but I need something to pull me out this dump. I took my bruises, took my lungs, fell down, then I got right back up. Then I need that spark to get psyched back up in order for me to pick the mic back up. Right? It's just telling you, okay, from where his career started, he was up, he was happy, you know what I'm saying? He was making a lot of money. That's when the whole Eminem Slim Shady thing happened, right? It's his nickname, Slim Shady. Everybody knows him as Eminem, or they don't really call him by his real name. That's not a thing, right? You go by where the hype is at. And then at some point in his career, some point in his life where they made a drastic change where depression will hit and it make you feel some type of way, and it'll kind of impact on your music as well, or impact in whatever profession that you're in. In this case, when his album came out and Relapse in 2009, that was like maybe one of his worst albums out. Um, yeah, he really did feel some type of way, dealing with daddy issues, dealing with his mom issues, and then for him probably to deal with being a parent and dealing with his own mental health issues. Yeah, that's a lot. It's a lot to deal with. I couldn't even do all that, despite of my own mental health issues and shit. Um, then it goes by with, I don't know how or why or when, and I ended up in the position I'm in. I'm starting to feel distant again, so I decided to pick this pen up and try to make an attempt to vent, but I just can't admit or come to the grip with the fact that I may be done with rap. I need a new outlet. But I know some shit is hard to swallow, but I just can't sit back and wallow in my own sorrow. But I know one fact that I'll be tough act to follow. One tough act to follow. Copy that. One tough act to follow. Here's today, gone tomorrow, but you have to walk 1,000 miles. Right? That's really saying that despite of him being in his depressive state, he used pen and paper, right? As you go to like psych therapy, they would probably tell you the same thing, like use a notebook and pen to try to write out your feelings, write out how you feel that day or the next day, how you feel that night. Like really put into thought, like damn, I really feel like this today or whatever. And sure, it may not work for everybody, but it works for some people. Like it worked for me for a little bit to realize like some of the things that I was mad about, blah blah blah. That was kind of like a little irrational. Could have not be mad. Could have been a little bit more patient with people or something. Or if people don't take that, then they rather take reading books more, or they rather to take candles and do aromatherapy that calm them down, make them make their aura more alive than dealing with people all day and you make me feel like you're dead inside or something. That's really what that kind of means. Like you're trying to find another outlet, try to do the one step at a time, and sometimes it's not easy to take that route. And even if you give another person advice because they're probably in that same state just in a different situation, they might not take that route because everybody has their different way of handling their own mental health issues. But that's just a little bit from one of my favorite songs throughout my entire life. Eminem was definitely a major factor in my life, so I think Eminem and Kid Cudi and all the other greats. You know what I'm saying? They do what they got to do for their careers, but they did enough for everybody's childhood and everything, and those generations that know about the shits. All right, now let's get into the meat of this topic. Why nicknames is important? Why did nicknames even came about? Right? I thought about it as, over the years, over like maybe 12, 12 or 14 years, right, of my life, that, my name wasn't like super unique. Don't know why. Even though everybody loves my last name instead of my first name, which is kind of makes me unique, but it still doesn't present my talents. It don't present um the true person in me, as I like to think of that, at least in my opinion. That's why I kind of take up my own nickname. I mean, King Kman was not the first first nicknames I came up with for myself. Shit. My first nickname was like ROK man for a little bit. Then I had man, now I have to really think. It was ROK man. Then it was Brother K man. I used to be called Dr. Love for a little bit. I'm really trying to think. There's a lot of nicknames I had. Um, I wouldn't say Goldberg, but like the crazy crackhead that can't run straight. Um, it was bad, man. Or the Mad Black Man. Um, the Rolling Stone from Up the Hill. That was, man. Those were good times for that one. And then King Cayman. But why did I did that, right? Only because, at some point in my life where I was feeling more depressed because I didn't really feel like I was unique. Not because of people that was bullying and everything, but dealing with my own personal issues and dealing with, not really living in a whole um two-parent household. That wasn't really the best for me, but life happens. Got over it. Um, like how everybody else will have at least both parents in their life, and it was cool. Um, kind of make me a little outcast. I like to be alone. I'm a loner. Um, and Yeah, I would say bullying was not a major factor, but it was definitely a factor in there. Um, but then when I call myself the nicknames that was called in that time period, it kind of boosts up confidence, right? It boosts up my ability to create whatever persona I come up with in that nickname to where I am representing that and everybody else can see that representation and see that, oh yeah, he's about that life, or oh, that's him. You know that's him because he only answers to that or something like that. So like nicknames definitely have an impact on people's lives. Like it really does. Sure, like there are good and bad that comes with it. Like coming up with so many nicknames for yourself, you're probably thinking like, "What the fuck, man? That's too many." But King Kman is gonna stay for a long time, so um, that took a while for me to, as far as mentally and physically, emotionally and spiritually, to be like, "Yeah, this is what I am." And I'm a better person and a better man for it because I know how I work. I know how to associate with people. I know how to put certain puzzles together and I know how to fix problems, including my own. And that took a while to do that. It took years. It took a lot of people to help, which I thank them for. And it takes a lot to not hold everything in as far as anger and learn to forgive and forget, which is also a good thing. Um so the bad part about having nicknames though is like sometimes you can get bored of it. Sometimes it can grow, it won't grow into a personality and then you just back onto like your root self in a way. And we can get bored of that and then that's when you feel like maybe you're at loss with life and you feel depressed and everything. That's when all the mental health issues will insert itself in and then you just feel some type of way. Um at least that's my opinion though. Um but the positive thing is that once you found something that ties into your lifestyle and then you made a good persona of it, then it's like it's life on its own. Like it just sparks and everybody sees it. Like I said, confidence definitely opens the door for almost everything. Um, Confidence, creativity, craftsmanship. Um, it can also show that your style of leadership. It shows your style of communication. Um, it kind of shows how you are in your love life too, and um, I can say it can touch you in a spiritual way too. So that's what I think is the good and bad from having nicknames and shit. Um, now let's see how does it relate to like a person that has like split personalities or DID, dissociative identity disorder. What does that even mean, right? So it means a mental disorder categorized by the maintenance of a at least two or distant and relatively enduring personality state. What does that really mean, right? It means that one at one point you are yourself and then your brain just rattles into another persona and then you act totally different with this other one. So right now um I could be Ben, for example. I could be Ben. Hi, I'm Ben. Ha ha ha. And then I'm Patrick. Hi. So it's kind of like that. Like if you ever seen the movie Split, that's really a good definition of this disorder. Like that's bad. Over there holding captive to all them kids in there, and then you got like 16 personalities that you're trying to lean on at least 2 or 3 of them that are like, all right, come on, fuck with me, and then just hurry up and let me go. And then you don't want the beast to come out and then just kill everybody, and you just like, oh my god. So, um, what is the symptoms of it? Let's see. The symptoms of having this. We're gonna go to Wikipedia for this one. It's not the best source, but similar and kind of accurate. Um, according to the Fifth Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders, DID symptoms includes the presence of 2 or more distant personality states accompanied by the inability to recall personal information beyond what is expected through normal forgetfulness. Other um other symptoms includes a loss of identity as related to the individual distant distinct I'm sorry distinct personality states and loss referring to time, sense of self, and consciousness. Each individual, the clinical presentation varies, and the level of functioning can change from severely impaired to minimum impairment. So, like I said, it would tie in just a little bit as far as like, okay, that guy is weird. Like anybody that will have this disorder, like yeah, that's pretty messed up. And they also give them different names. Like I said, Ben and Patrick, horrible combo. But that's just how a person will work because they don't remember how they turn into that person. They just it's like an on and off switch. One day they could be Ben, the next day they could be Patrick. It's on and off switch. That their mind, that person's mind can just flip on and off. But that can also be like how a nickname can be. So one day I can be myself, and the next day I could be like King Kman, where I don't give a fuck, and I go as how my kingdom should roll. And once I'm on the roll, I can't be stopped because I'm trying to hurry up and go home. I'm trying to relax, kick up my feet, see all my people happy, give them a call, and yell at my TV whenever I'm playing the game. That's kind of how I work. If I'm the other guy, then I'm at work, I'm friendly. Hi, how you doing? Hi, Johnny. You're looking good, Johnny. Um, I'll call my parents, blah blah blah. Make sure my family name is out here being repped good, everything. Simple shit. Um, like times where I'll be forgetting shit, like maybe when I'm like mad or something. Like let's say if I'm packing up somebody's shit and then some of my shit is in there, that's how you know. Like, hey, I was mad. When I'm mad, I don't. When most people are mad, I think this is where most of their mental disorders come from. It'd be like when they're mad and they do some shit like they're gonna regret, or they just simply don't remember putting anything in there, or like you send a text message to somebody saying, "Can you send me a lullaby when you having a fever?" And you don't even remember how the fuck you send that text message, but your phone is pretty smart. It's just like doing shit on your own. So, yeah. Um, I think it does have some type of some ties with this mental disorder, but um, like I said, this kind of mental disorder it varies because it says like most people can't even identify most of their personality disorders, right? They say on average, just like maybe only like 4,500 out of like 7 billion people in the world have been reported that they have this mental disease, right? Um, and it's only like out of their personas or out of the identities they might have, the average identities in that one person is like 16. If you're able to identify 16 motherfuckers inside you, yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't even know how I can deal with you because I don't want to talk to Becky and then I gotta talk to Rabusha in the next day. Like, come on, or the next minute. Like, Rabusha's already ghetto. Becky's nice. Regina, she's a little she got a soft side. I don't know why. Like, this is not funny, but it's just funny scenarios. This is like mostly serious stuff, but like I said, this show always talks about things that nobody would talk about, and that's just the fun part. You get to learn new stuff every day, and I like that. I really like that. Um, hmm. Oh yeah. So it's how much time we got? Oh, about around what time? So, I also want to talk about, you know, is really the nicknames given or you can choose it. Of course, it can be given by anybody. You know, they used to call me Little Rock, kind of based off of my dad and everything, but it didn't have really no meaning for it because I didn't like it. I didn't like it because it was just like, I don't like being anybody's little. Like, no. I like to do my own thing. I like to shine bright like a diamond or something. Or or they call me like, yeah, he runs like a crackhead or blah blah blah. Mm, It's not really a nickname. It's just giving names, just making fun of somebody. I'm just like, nah. I run like this is not my fault. I've been running like this since Nam, since I was born. Um, of course you can choose your name, but also you have to put yourself in that position where um wherever you want, you have to value it the most. If you don't, people will see that, they will degrade it, and then you look like a fool. And then you're like, nah, I gotta change it. Or somebody gotta give me something better. That way I don't look shitty out here in these streets, blah blah blah. So it's all about, like I said, confidence is still a thing. Um your judgment of people has to be a thing too. Like, do you value that person's judgment? Um of course you always gotta pick your friends. Keep your friends close and your enemies closer. Um um and mm, confidence, keep your friends close, and values. I always value my nicknames. It's just everybody just can't tolerate it. Everybody just think like, oh, here you go. But they know that I'm gonna keep saying it because that's how I am. Like, this is not just no nickname. This is a lifestyle. This is evolutionized. This is something that was in the works. This was thought out, planned. Had to go to the goddamn blueprints. Make sure I'm saying the right things about myself, to set the goals and all that. Once they see all that, then they got no choice to at least respect the fact, respect the facts, respect the name, put some respect on my name, on some Birdman shit. So that's what I think of that. And that will basically conclude the show. Yay! I mean, it was fun to talk about it anyway, so I just thought that nicknames should be talked about, why they're a thing. Does it ties to this dissociative identity disorder? Um, why is a good and a bad thing about it, and how it can really impact you in your workspace or in your lifestyle that you're in. Um, in closing, like I said, I thank y'all for listening everywhere from Spotify to YouTube to Chi-Town Gamers and whatever else I'm on. I try to be consistent, try to do this almost every Friday. Um, and yeah, this has been, like I said, a fun adventure doing this podcast, and it's really mm, being open for me as a person that's trying to do better as a communicator and educator and everything. So I really like doing this shit, and I like to keep going. But like I said, follow me on here on Spotify and also on YouTube, Kman's Productions. Um, and then also subscribe to Chi-Town Gamers. You know, already at 1,072 subscribers right now. Just trying to get them views up so we can get paid. Balling. You know what I'm saying? So, but until then, guys, ladies and gentlemen, the king has left the building. Hope y'all have a great Friday.